Hello, welcome back to another speed build with Frimlin, and I'm still with the Parenthood game pack, but now I've incorporated city living and I'm making an apartment, and this is because I ran a poll on Twitter and I asked people which combination of a couple of different packs should I make a build out of, and city living and Parenthood was the top choice, and about 120 people voted for that. And then I asked people to clarify whether they wanted an apartment or a penthouse or a standalone home, and people wanted an apartment. So here it is. Well, it will be once I've finished finishing it. So just like last time, I have the screenshots not at the end of the video, but rather dispersed throughout the build. So as I finish a particular room, I'll show you the finished screenshots. And most of the stuff I do is done during this video, but usually during the playtesting I adjust bits here and there, and there can be some drastic changes in the playtesting, so what you see on the video might not match what you suddenly see in a finished screenshot. But let me know what you think of this new screenshot format. I just thought it would be nice to make the videos a bit more interesting as you go along during the build video. The only tricky thing is that it takes a little bit more time to edit the videos. Have to be a bit more careful, but yeah, I quite like it. So yeah, I'd like to know what you think. What do you think of the new screenshot process? So it's still a couple of minutes or a minute or so until the first screenshots come through. That's because, like usual, I take a little while trying to decide exactly where everything goes. I make this main bedroom relatively clutter-free, but there is a bit more decoration on the wall coming up, and it's got an ensuite. And there's another big bathroom further on in the apartment, but yeah, the main bedroom has an ensuite. I just think that's kind of required when you have adult Sims and a large family. The adult Sims need their own little place to clean up and get prepared for the day. So yeah, because I'm using the Parenthood game pack and City Living, I'm trying to make a point of using the Parenthood items, usually in preference to City Living items, but if there isn't something there from the Parenthood pack, then I do use stuff from City Living or the base game instead. So this wallpaper is from the Parenthood game pack, and so is the sink and counter and the mirror and that medicine cabinet on the wall. But the towels and the little pot of soap are from the base game. And yeah, the toilet and the bath and the shower are all from the base game as well. And that's because there is a shower bath in Parenthood game pack, but it's one of these baths that you can't use the spa day soaks in. So if you're someone like me who likes the buff that you get from the spa day soaks when you go into a normal bath, you like having normal baths in your builds, so that's what I have here. I could have chosen to use the Parenthood bath shower, but I decided no, I will not do that. So yeah, here is the finished main bedroom. An ensuite, or part of it. Very hard to get screenshots in tiny little rooms. Now onto the lounge and dining area, I think. So yeah, the table and chairs all come from Parenthood. And you can see the wallpaper that popped up there is from my ensuite, and that's because the way I have to do the walls for an apartment so you can share it on the gallery mean that it's all treated as one room in one respect for things like wallpapers. So I have to actually manually place all the wallpaper. I can't use holding the shift key down to place whole walls, which is a little annoying, but it's okay, it's fine. So the lounge and dining area are quite calm and peaceful with relatively neutral colours. Now unfortunately the sofas that came with the pack, there's only a couple of neutral options. The other ones are quite bright and colourful, and I like using the bright and colourful stuff and I want to use them, but the issue is you can use one thing that's bright and colourful, but it can be very difficult finding other furniture to complete the full look in the room. So I'm kind of holding out to use lots of the more colourful options that came with the Parenthood game pack. They will be in future builds when I get more daring or more bored of the neutral colours. So it's funny that I've placed that bookcase there, because I've actually forgotten the fact that I need to have a door between the main bedroom and the lounge. And there's also another bedroom in there that I haven't built yet. That also needs to have access to the rest of the house. So yeah, using a couple of City Living floor lamps. And the painting above the fireplace, it doesn't stay. I don't think the colours match. So I take it out. And I keep remembering seeing videos where Deligracy was saying something like, you must always have a full-length mirror by the front door so you can like check yourself on the way out. So for some reason I often put a mirror next to the front door. I don't have a big enough place to have my own mirror next to the front door like that, but I might do if I did. But yeah, I think I tend to think that just a small mirror in the bathroom is enough for me to make myself look okay for the day. So yeah, all these counters and cupboards in this kitchen area are from the Parenthood game pack. What a surprise! And so is the stove. And so is this dishwasher. The sink is from the base game. Bread bin is from City Living. No, it's not. It's from, sorry, Parenthood game pack as well. And that lovely fridge is also from Parenthood. And I'm getting a little tired of saying Parenthood over and over again. And you might have noticed actually that in the last couple of videos I made subtitles, or captions, whatever you want to call them, to match what I was saying in the commentary. And I've got to tell you, it's amazing how many times I say "and so," and it's amazing how many times I say the same stuff pack name over and over again, and it's really annoying having to type it up again and again and again. I don't know why I started doing these subtitles. Well, I kind of do. There was I shared it with a friend, and she said, "Hey, why is there no subtitles?" And I was like, "Ah," and I thought, I suppose I could put some in. And that was okay for a small house, but when you get to these bigger builds, it takes a long time editing subtitles. And so what I do is I start off with an auto-generated subtitle script, which is actually usually about 95% accurate. It's just missing things like punctuation and the correct capitalization of words, and sometimes it doesn't quite understand my strange New Zealand accent. Well, hey, it's not the only thing in this world that doesn't. Yeah, people think I have a strange accent. Well, people that aren't from New Zealand. So the wallpaper in this lounge gets changed later on. It doesn't stay with this basic neutral colour that I put on from the Parenthood pack. And the kitchen gets a bit more of a colour update in the playtesting, I think. I think it's the playtesting. Might also be at the end of this video, we shall see. Do we have some screenshots coming up? Yes, we do. Got the all-important notice board, which came with the pack. And I haven't really completely understood all the gameplay options with that notice board yet. I mean, I know you can set the curfew, which I haven't done yet for any of my Sims, because they're usually so well behaved, they don't need that. But other than leave a few notes, which I'm not sure of the purpose of, I'm not really sure what the notice board does. Okay, right, screenshots of the lounge, or screenshot of the lounge. And then a screenshot of the dining area. Lovely view. So yeah, the kitchen gets quite a bit of work, but I keep getting a bit annoyed with the large space. It's strange because I'm so used to making small kitchens and small rooms. Having a big room with lots of space in it kind of didn't quite sit well on my mind. But I fixed it later on, and I'll show you how as we get to it. Love the big 4 square coffee table that came with Parenthood. I'm probably going to use it on lots of builds. But yeah, speaking about builds, I was going to mention that. So I've been doing a lot of this 1 or 2 pack type of build. Lots of showcasing of packs, but I haven't done any builds recently where I've just not cared about which stuff packs I used and just used everything. So I might do another build like that. I've actually got a load of ideas for builds. The biggest problem right now is I just don't have the time to do them all. But I have a particular build in mind next. A certain it's also a city living build actually, but it's not an apartment or a penthouse. It will be on the ground, and it's replacing a spot in my own main save games, San Myshuno, where my main family have moved out, and now there's a blank spot in the Spice District, and I want to make a building for there. So that's probably going to be my next build, although it might be nice to do something small like a starter house, because after I've done a big build like this, I can often get kind of put off the idea of doing another big build, so a small build can break me out of that. But yeah, here's the bathroom. And you only get one shot of that, sorry. But yeah, there's showers and bath area and toilets, all with the same color scheme. And in the video right now, I'm adding on a 3rd bathroom, or in this case, just a toilet with a sink. And that would be more suitable for visitors. And leaving the main larger bathroom for the household. So actually in the end, if you include the nursery, there's 6 bedrooms in the house and in the apartment. And there is 1 main bedroom, then there are 2 bedrooms that are suitable for teenagers. One's a bit darker and dark/neutral. The other one's a bit more colourful and a bit smaller. Then there's a rather large kids room with lots of different kids toys in there. Then there's a toddlers room, which is a bit smaller and also a little colourful. And then there's the nursery with 2 cots or bassinets, whatever you want to call them. So you could probably have a pair of twins here, and they would always have a bed as they age up to teenage life stage. which is handy, isn't it? But you could also be crazy and have 2 babies, 2 toddlers, 2 kids, 2 teens, and 2 parents, if you really wanted to. Who would do that? Nobody, right? Now I know that a lot of people do that kind of stuff, so this place is ready for you. So yeah, I do a very, very basic non-matching room there, and then I go back to it and fix it up later. Really like this little painting area in the kids' room. And yet again, it was really nice to have lots of space. And the reason why I wanted lots of space for the kids especially was so that they could have school projects. And they take up quite a bit of space on the ground when you're making them. And as you can see, I made my own little kind of custom carpet rug area. And I repeat that later on near where the unicorn is now. Bookcase, desks, chairs, activity tables, these all come from the Parenthood game pack, and I think they're all welcome additions. There we go, putting that custom carpet in the other area of the bedroom. Adding some curtains, and now we're going to see some screenshots. Nice kind of purple, cyan, white kind of thing going on. And blue, of course. Lots of blank space on the wall so you can hang up your own paintings. Now for the nursery, using wallpaper from Parenthood Game Pack. Trying to do another custom rug again, but this time I didn't really like that and I changed it later on. There we go, not later on, right now in fact. What replaced it is rather subtle. It kind of matches the wood a bit too well, so it's a bit hard to see. And it actually stays that way, but hey, it's fine. Bit of carpet on the floor, it's not a problem. But yeah, this study, I put in a few basic things to start with, but mix it all up later on, change the colour, change the layout. But yeah, again, putting a little rug there on the floor. Keep going back to the kitchen here and there and putting bits and pieces in it. So now this is what I'm calling bedroom 2, and this is the largest of the teen bedrooms. And both teen bedrooms have double beds, which of course is very useful if you have a friend that you want to stay over, if you're allowed, something like that. And there's a little desk with the computer on by the window, so you could play on the computer there. Or there's a bigger desk by the door which has a journal on it, so you can, you know, write up about your horrible life and how the world treats you so badly, as you do. And there's a stereo so you can listen to your loud music and wake your parents. It's conveniently located right next to their heads. So I think you're going to be making a few enemies in the house with that. Now I add this City Living wardrobe-y thing, but it doesn't survive because actually there isn't enough space for it there. It's deceptively looking like it has space, but it actually pops out of its own accord later on, and I don't replace it, I just stick something else in instead. And there it is, it's a guitar and a painting is what I replaced it with. And actually used that kind of guitar wall decoration thing finally. And you won't believe it, I even used the surfboard somewhere as well. But yeah, this room is a room that I quite like coming back to and adding things to and changing things. So this is the one that will most differ from the screenshots. Well, it's not quite true. Some of them are quite different. So this started up as a second kids room, but then I'm like, what am I doing? The reason why it is because, so annoyingly, that science table only has the green option. It's like, can't you give us a couple more shades, like white and grey or something like that, so we could place them in any room? Just didn't look right sticking it down in the blue room that was the kids room, so I made a second kids room. And then later on I'm thinking, don't really need a second kids room, so I replaced it with a teenagers room, a smaller teenagers room. But yeah, I think this is roughly the final layout of... Oh no, I moved this up, this study, I move it around even more later on. City Living bookcase. The small sofas are from Parenthood. Desks from Parenthood. Lights, computers from City Living. And the rest of it is from the base game. Oh, I'll tell you something funny that happened the other day. Someone left a comment on one of my builds where they said something like, I can't use this because I don't have all the stuff packs you've used. And I can imagine people using that kind of comment for lots of other people's builds where they use loads of different stuff and game pack items. But my builds are pretty much usually just 1 or 2 packs. So it's like, dude, I was actually kind of hurt by that. I was like, dude, I've already stripped it down to just 1 or 2 packs. Can't please some people. But yeah, there's the study. Quite colourful. So it's going to cover blue, brown base, a bit of black, and then a bit of random colour here and there. Wanted to stick something on the walls above the computers, but in the end I didn't. Not even in the playtesting. So they're blank, you can stick stuff on there on your own. Had to have a nice colourful toddler's bedroom. Lots of fun things going on for, to stimulate their imaginations. It's a very important thing, although sometimes I look back and think I wish my imagination hadn't been stimulated quite as much, because sometimes I just wish that, I didn't have such an active imagination all the time. But yeah, no, I think it's probably better to have an active imagination than to have none at all. But yeah, some people don't have a choice. But yeah, there is the toddler bedroom, or bedroom number 5, I think I call it, with the nursery as number 6. You could technically take out the bassinets and place some beds in there. Finally, we see screenshots of the kitchen, and it's got a bluey vanilla type thing going on. Mixture of Parenthood and City Living stuff going on there. Even after the screenshot, I'm still editing it. Huh. Finally finishing up the nursery. And there it is. Or part of it. And taking away what was to be kids' room number 2 and making it into a teen's bedroom. Starts off a bit purple. I think it changes to a cyan. I'm not sure. We shall see shortly. Bang, there you go, it's a cyan. Well, cyan and blue and a bit of colour. And there's the surfboards. Now Maxis, you're going to have to add those in the pack now. Usable surfboards. Finally adding some wallpaper to the lounge. And pretty much build done now. There's a bit changes in the screenshot, in the playtesting, but yeah, there's the layout from above. Quite a big build, as you can see. And I've also got a few collages showing the screenshots that you've already seen throughout the build. Thank you so much for watching this speed build. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you'll come back to see another speed build later on. And to do that, it would help if you subscribed. I'd really appreciate it. I've only got a few subscribers, so each one I appreciate very much. And I hope you have a great week, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye bye.